Good evening from the former J.C. Penney store down here at BLAB Studios down in our lovely downtown. My name is James Van Warren. I'm also known as Mr. Fitness. Tonight, I'm going to go back in time a little bit. I want to first and foremost, that's a cliche off my first shows back in 1993. First and foremost, I want to explain the set a little bit. This is my family's Italian-made manger scene from era's 1970 when my parents bought it, along with a Christmas tree at a clearance sale at Gaffer's at Town and Country Plaza. And this manger scene, oh, no, that one's not stamped. That wise man's not stamped, but this camel here, 29 cents. 29 cents for the camel. I don't know if everybody can see that, but it's stamped 29 cents. But anyway, and this little wise man here is made in India or Japan. For I don't know what that 13 means, but that one's made in Japan. But anyway, but the rest of the set is from Italy. It's stamped Italian made. And I remember Christmas in July is coming up. And so that's why I come back in time a little bit with this. I had a postcard from St. Anne's Roundup, and I remember going there in October to the Wild West shoot-up village they had there. But they had a display there back in the 70s that had a bunch of cigarette packs lined up in rows, and you took a BB gun, and it had a cork in the end of it, and you'd shoot over those cigarette packs, and lo and behold, they would give you 45 record albums. 45 record albums. But it had a soldering iron that would be punched through the label there of their brand of these 45s they were trying to get out to the public. Well, I had a few of those, but I can't seem to find them now, but that's okay. I remember the good old days here in Pensacola. I remember when families used to go over and see what the other families got at Christmas time. But nowadays, you don't even let your children play with your neighbor's children because, if they stub their toe over their neighbor's house, heck, the neighbors are going to sue you for medical bills. It used to not be that way here in Pensacola. Not when I grew up. Not with my friends and that. If they hurt one another, they went home and told their parents. But anyway, let me get back to why I'm really here on the show, to bring back some pointers and everything else. 15 years ago, myself and my daughter, this is my daughter right here, this is our daughter, this is my wife Wanda, we gave birth at Sacred Heart, she gave birth at Sacred Heart Hospital to this little girl right here. And that string through her nose was necessary. That was necessary for her to survive. She had to have major operations. And luckily now, this is how she has turned out today. Can we get a close-up? Let me see how well I place that. Thank you. Just a little up. You gotta go that way with it. That's our daughter. All right. She's done miraculously, but we've been together there for her through all the trials and tribulations. This is her earlier on. Let me get that glare off that picture. There we go. That's her too, when she was a lot younger. And then after mine and my wife's divorce in 1990, this lady came into my life again. This was us on a vacation in Lukenbach, Texas. This lady here, her name is Sylvia, and she's a German national. She's a good friend of mine. And after 27 years of me being away from Germany, I was in the United States Army. And here's a picture of me in my driveway Can we get a close-up of that, please? That was in 1981, after I came home from Germany on 30 days of leave. I was headed for Fort Lewis, Washington. I'd done two years in Germany. I took German. I speak fluent German, read it and write it. Enough to get by. And I still have contact with my family and friends over there today. That's a current German card. Can we get a close-up on that a little bit? Thank you very much. All right. This whole saga, and I mean it's a saga too, started in 1986 when I got out of the Army here in Pensacola. I came back home because I'm a native Pensacolian, and I started up this little business right here. Can we get a close-up, please? Dial-a-diaper. At that time, I had a different phone number right here. Of course, I didn't have business cards printed up. It was but 2 years before my daughter was born at Sacred Heart Hospital. And so I had a diaper delivery service. Well, I didn't deal with cloth diapers. The only thing I dealt with was disposable. I was not about to... I remember the diaper service at the foot of W Street there had white vans, and they'd go around, and they dealt with cloth diapers, and they had a little Cupid doll with a little crown on top of his head glued on top of those white panel vans, and they dealt with the disposable diapers. Not me. I wasn't going to touch it, not with a 10-foot pole. Anyway, oh, by the way, if you have any phone calls tonight, you want to talk about old times? I'll talk about old times. I'm no new rookie on the block, I promise you. I've been around. I remember the good times. I remember the bad times. I remember the only fire we saw in our neighborhood was Leolio's there on Garden Street. When the lounge burned, we stood across the street and let the Pensacola Fire Department do their job. How we raised our daughter was using this premise. We found this at Sacred Heart Hospital. It's called Children Learn What They Live. If children live with criticism, they learn to condemn. If children live with hostility, they learn to fight. If children live with ridicule, they learn to be shy. If children live with shame, they learn to feel guilty. If children live with tolerance, if children live with tolerance, they learn to be patient. If children live with encouragement, they learn confidence. If children live with praise, they learn to appreciate. If children live with fairness, they learn justice. If children live with security, they learn to have faith. If children live with approval, they learn to like themselves. If children live with acceptance and friendship, they learn to find love in the world. And that's how my wife and I, when our daughter was first born, we raised her. And now it's time for a break, and stay tuned for the second half of the show, if you will, please.